Welcome to Japan English News, Quick Scan. Today's headlines. Record 92,000 COVID-19 cases reported across Japan. Tokyo reported more than 20,000 COVID-19 cases for the first time on February 2 as record numbers were reported around the nation. In the capital, metropolitan government officials said there were 21,576 fresh cases. Osaka Prefecture also reported 11,171 cases, a record for a Wednesday, while the main northern island of Hokkaido had a record 3,587 cases. Hyogo Prefecture, next to Osaka Prefecture, also had a record 5,913 cases. Pfizer applies for COVID-19 vaccine approval for children under 5. U.S. pharmaceutical company Pfizer says it has begun filing for emergency use authorization for its coronavirus vaccine in children under 5. Pfizer said on Tuesday that it is submitting data to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration from clinical trials to evaluate the shot's safety and effectiveness on children from 6 months to 4 years old. The company's vaccine is currently being administered in the United States to children aged 5 and older. School closure period to be cut to about 5 days. The government plans to shorten the periods of anti-pandemic school closures and class cancellations to about 5 days, from the current 7, in light of the characteristics of the Omicron variant of the novel coronavirus, the Yomiuri Shimbun has learned. The Education Ministry will change its policy based on such characteristics of the variant as having a shorter incubation period than the original virus and other variants. Olympics. First Japanese athlete tests positive for COVID-19 in Beijing. The Japanese Olympic Committee on Wednesday announced the first positive coronavirus case among Japanese athletes attending the Beijing Games. The JOC said a skier has tested positive for the coronavirus on Tuesday in Beijing after testing negative before departing for China. The athlete's name has not been released due to the JOC's privacy policy, although it was confirmed the person is asymptomatic. Gasoline prices rise in Japan despite emergency measures. Gasoline prices at the pump in Japan have risen for the 4th straight week, hitting the highest level in about 13 years. Despite emergency measures to stem the rise. The Oil Information Center says the average retail price of regular gasoline nationwide was 170.9 yen, or $1.49, per liter as of Monday. That was up 0.4% from the week earlier. Panasonic's April-December net profit up on brisk sales of EV batteries. Panasonic Corporation on Wednesday reported a net profit of 195.63 billion yen, $1.70 billion, in the April-December period, up 50.3% from a year earlier, on the back of strong sales of batteries for electric vehicles. The automotive and energy segments, key growth areas for the electronics company, logged sales of 774.9 billion yen, up 7% from a year earlier, and 568.0 billion yen, up 27%, respectively, due to strong overseas demand for in-vehicle equipment and electric car batteries for Tesla Incorporated. Sony raises FY 2021 profit outlook on firm movie business, weak yen. Sony Group Corporation on Wednesday raised its operating profit outlook for the current business year to a record 1.20 trillion yen. As solid movie and mobile gaming segments along with a weak yen against the US dollar are expected to make up for weak sales of its PlayStation 5 game consoles amid a global chip crunch. In October, the Japanese electronics and entertainment giant forecast an operating profit of 1.04 trillion yen for the year through March. All Keio trains, stations to be monitored live after knife attack. The operator of the Keio railway line in Tokyo has unveiled a plan to install security cameras in all of its stations and train cars, following last year's attack by a knife-wielding man on one of its trains. Keio Corporation has mapped out a set of emergency measures based on lessons from the attack in which a man with a knife injured passengers on a train in Shofu City, western Tokyo. Japan's doors remain closed to most foreign students. Japan began welcoming 87 foreign students to the country on Sunday, the first such arrivals since strict rules were enforced in response to the spread of the novel coronavirus. And on Tuesday, it granted permission to enter to 400 more students. About 147,000 foreign students have obtained permission to study in Japan, but due to the government's tight border control measures, the vast majority of them have not yet been granted permission to actually enter the country. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.